Good morning to everyone. Welcome you all to the webinar session. The session will start with the welcome address by Mr. S. Balasubramanian, Associate Professor, ECE, and then the chief guest introduction will be given by Ms. A. Babiola, Professor, ECE Department, and then we have a webinar session that is handled by our chief guest, Mr. Muthiah Pillai, BITS Computer Systems CEO, RECT Polytechnic College Chairman, and then we have the question and answer session, and vote of thanks will be given by Mr. Balasundaram, Assistant Professor, ECE Department, and also Placement Coordinator. And thank you. The welcome address will be given by Mr. S. Balasubramanian, Associate Professor, ECE.
Very good morning to everyone. There is a popular saying which goes this way: if you don't have big dreams and goals, you will end up working for someone that does. I think the meaning is quite evident. And a country's economy is one of the many factors which makes it either a developed or a developing nation. Dr. Kalam, in one of his thoughts on competitiveness, has said a country can transform itself from a developing to a developed status if it creates an competitive way a market in other countries. This can be accomplished not by government policies alone, by a good number of successful people who venture themselves into entrepreneurship. Of course, there will be challenges all along. Each challenge will give us a lesson with a happy ending. If we have the necessity will to accomplish it. If you follow your dreams and tread into unexplored paths, an entrepreneur will find his kingdom for sure. I hope today's session will motivate more people to become a successful entrepreneur. With the blessings of the God Almighty and the constant support and the guidance given by our correspondent, Dr. K.S. Lakshmi Madam, and our secretary, Dr. K.S. Babai Ma'am, and the mentoring force, our principal sir, Dr. P.K. Suresh, and our Dean Academics, Dr. K. Umarani Ma'am. Today, the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering is organizing the 5th session of the webinar on Journey of an Entrepreneur. It's an honor to welcome you all for this session. I welcome Mr. Muthiah Pillai, CEO of BITS Computer System, the speaker of this session, Journey of an Entrepreneur. I also welcome all the participants who join us in this webinar. Thank you. I now call upon Dr. A. Babiola, Associate Professor, to introduce this chief. Thank you.
Switch on your mic. Now okay.
Very good morning to one and all present here. Mr. Muthiah Pillai, having earned his computer science degree from MK University, with his knowledge in the field of computer science, decided to start a company, an IT infrastructure company. Being a highly influential businessman with a passion for providing service, he became a member of the Rotary Club of Tirunelveli in his early business days. He was elected as the state president for the IT Dealers Association, named Confed ITA, in the years 2013-14 due to his success in the IT industry. In 2010, he decided to start a college for the students from rural places who did not have access to established educational institutions. He founded RECT Polytechnic College with the main motive of providing skill development, and advancement opportunities to students. Among one of the initiatives taken to uplift the students is training them in handling advanced machinery which was used in Japan and to train them in the Japanese language and send them there to put their skills to use. This initiative turned out to be a great success and was supported by the Government of India under the Skill India program, through which currently 25 students are deployed in Japan. Mr. Muthiah Pillai's passion for service is driven by Rotary, which unites millions who come together for a common cause to create lasting change in their community. Once again, we welcome you, sir. Now, sir will address the gathering. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for a nice and wonderful introduction. First of all, I would like to thank the management and the department, I think the IEEE chapter, which conducts a series of this webinar, for giving me this opportunity. So thank you for giving this platform. And the assistant professor has clearly narrated the entrepreneur's importance in every country's economy, because every country economy is driven by employment. Ultimately, this entrepreneurs plays a very big role in providing that employment. So the next 1 hour is given to me. I couldn't see you all, but still I'm happy to be among this most of the students I hear. And when as soon as the madam, Babiola madam, approached me to give this seminar, I usually hesitate because I am not a very good orator. But when she talks about this entrepreneurship, immediately I agree, because that is one thing I am always happy to share with anyone. Like me, in any entrepreneur's biodata, you can hear the success story, but nobody knows the pain involved behind the success story. And when I say the pain, that's, as your professor said, it is a lessons we learned through very hard times, which is nowhere mentioned in any of the syllabi of your college or any management college or any of the institution. Nobody can teach you these life lessons of each and every entrepreneur who had gone through their tough times. So when they said, sir, if you have a presentation, I said, I don't have any presentation PPT to share today. I'm only going to share the way I came up in my life in a very hard way. So probably that can be a not a lesson, I can say that can be an input for the people who really aspire to be an entrepreneur in future. When I say entrepreneur, only a very small ratio of students are inclined or attempting and are successful. For example, in my batch, we have about 180 students, engineering students. When I studied, hardly 5% are into business, and say I can say only 50% are very successful. I don't know. It may be the mindset of Indians to work under someone or something like that, but it may be a situation also, situation driven. But in my case, there are certain factors which push me and made me to be successful in this current scenario. So that I would like to share. I am also, I completed my degree in 1992 from a southern part of Tamil Nadu. So college was in a place called Koilpatti, and I am a native of Nagargovil, but still I am settled on Tirunelveli. I am the first son of my family, who is a very lower middle class father, who was earning say 3,000, 4,000 rupees in a government job, and we were 3 people. And you know how difficult. I was doing my engineering, my sister was doing a mathematics, and my younger brother was doing diploma. So almost I can say he sold out all his wealth, properties to give education to us. That's my status where I started. So I would like to go from there. Of course, we also understood the pain of our parents. I don't know today's scenario how many people they realize, but for that, one another reason is our parents, they taught us like how hard we are going through, and it was a I don't know. Today, many of the parents are trying to protect the children. They want to give everything whatever they want. Unlike our parents gave us everything, but at the same time they also explained like how difficult it is. So, having understood the pain involved of the pain by our parents, immediately after completing degree, I had a determination, one single point agenda. The moment I complete my degree, I should not take even a single penny from my father. That was an agenda I had in my mind and heart at the age of 21, and I executed it. During even my final exams, I started appearing in interviews, and I got a small job for a salary of about 1,500. And the day I finished my last exam, the very next day, I went to Trivandrum to take that job. So that one determination of not burdening our parents after because till the studies we all still call them as their duty to give us education, and we are most of us are not at that age not bothered how hard they are working for it. You don't realize that is our age, and I don't blame that. At that age everyone is like that. Even one small incident, in a third year our college, they have organized a tour. Even my father was struggling to give a money for going for the tour. I was yelling on them because I said I was arguing, it is your duty to feed me, to give me education. It's like that. But after education I started my journey, I started that job, but very soon I realized that is not my path. It was a it was a teaching profession. That time I was trying to teach a computer subject in a small institute. From there I started looking for jobs. Again I was trying to survive with 1,500 rupees in that time. Then I got an opportunity to appear for an interview in Rajasthan. That's a company called JK Tires that time. So the thing is, they conduct a group discussion. I got selected. Then they give you money to and fro for traveling to Rajasthan for attending the interview. So with that money, I started traveling to Rajasthan, but I didn't get the job ultimately. But I was having another address in Delhi. I was keep on looking for a better job and career. That's the time. I'm talking about 92. So I had one piece of paper, a small address in Delhi where my senior was working. I got it through some connection. My first batch college first batch senior was working in Delhi in a company called Tata Chemicals. So from Rajasthan, from the money what that company gave me to attend the interview, I traveled to Delhi. I just landed in Delhi railway station with 1,000 rupees in my pocket and 2 sets of dress in my suitcase. I didn't know the language. I didn't know the place. And there was no, that communication. Today, parents, making 10 phone calls if a child is not responding for 15 minutes. So that time I just landed in Delhi without knowing the language. And that time English is, I am from a Tamil medium. 12th till 12th I did my schooling in Tamil medium. And I told you that I studied from a rural college. So you can understand how well versed I was in English that time. So with all these skills, I can say, I landed in Delhi, started looking for the address. Then only they said this address is about another 5 hours distance from that place. It is not actually Delhi. It is called a UP border. Then somehow I reached that place in the midnight and knocked his door. He was shocked. How come you are here at this time and without even informing, and all that he was trying to ask me. Then I said, I've come up to Rajasthan. I thought I will meet you and look for some job in Delhi. Then he gave me some contact address in Delhi. Again, I took my suitcase and started traveling back to Delhi. And I met a company, called Samtech Engineering. That is in New Delhi, Kalkaji. That time it was in Noida industrial area. So I straight away went to the company and reference from so-and-so person. And then the MD of the company is called Samir Gupta. He was looking very strangely at me, and a person from southernmost corner, the Kanyakumari, who traveled to Delhi with a suitcase and asking for a job. Then he was trying to advise me, you have completed BE computer engineering, you've got a very high scopes in, software, and the field is booming. Why don't you try this, that? I said, boss, that's all I understand, but I need my food for today's lunch and dinner. That is my problem. I need a job. Then he was literally struck. Then he said, okay, what is that I can offer you? You give me a job. They are actually into a hardware company. They were maintaining computer hardware at that time. I said, you give me a training job. I will let me learn. And again, as I told you, after finishing the engineering degree, the practical knowledge that time was zero, I can say. I said, I need a job. With a lot of hesitation, he said, okay, how much salary you want? I said, I don't know. That was my answer. When he asked how much salary you want, I said, I don't know. Give me a space. I will work for 1 month. If you are happy, you pay me. Otherwise, I myself will say goodbye and leave this place. So I need only 1 month time to prove myself whether I can really learn from you and I can perform. So that was a condition. I was given a job in that company. And morning I just entered. So he said, when are you going to join? I told him, no, I have already joined. I'm here in this company. He was literally laughing because I didn't have a place to go from that office. So around 11:30, I just officially joined that company as a trainee. Then slowly started, the language is the biggest problem. With my broken English, I was trying to communicate, and everybody will respond to you in Hindi. That's another greatest fun. So I was trying to understand something by, all this signs and all. And slowly I started getting some connections within the company. Within that evening, I just interacted a person who was from Andhra Pradesh, and I was trying to explain my situation. He said, I need a space to stay. Then he was saying, okay, my friend is away for a week to his hometown. You come and stay with me for 1 week, I'll give you. So I got the place to stay for 1 week. Evening, I went along with him and stayed him for, week's time. Very luckily, his friend decided not to come back to Delhi. So my residence is assured. After 2 days, I went back to the company MD and said, sir, I need some money. He said, for what? No, I mean, you give me an advance, 1,000 rupees, because I don't have money to eat. Okay, with the again smiling face, he accepted and he gave me money. So from there, I started my job, I can say. It's a career. After 1 month, I was very nervous how much he is going to pay me. Okay, I was just looking at the accountant. I was not even talking to the boss. I didn't have the courage because I didn't know how much I have proved myself. Accountant gave me a check of 1,800 rupees per month salary. I was extremely happy because that is more than sufficient for my rent, food for 1 month. And I paid up my dues. I started living in Delhi. Believe me, it's hardly 1.5 years I worked in Delhi. I put my blood and sweat. You won't believe. I put my blood and sweat. I was sincere. I was hardworking. I was loyal to the company. And that gave me a reward. Within a year, I was getting around 1 year. Within a span of 1 year, I'm talking in the year of 93, I was getting about 4,500 rupees salary. Even no Hindi Wala was getting that salary that time with my experience. They're all senior people. And that IT hardware is basically, it's a totally different concept that time. Even today, every individual is able to install an operating system and all that. That day it is different. And I was into the networking. I was working for a Dutch bank, a Germany-based bank. They were only having 2 branches in India, Delhi and Mumbai. And I was maintaining their server room, which was connected that time itself about for 14 countries for online banking. So that was a Opportunity I got, I put my hard work and learned all my things. And beyond that, and I mean, they always have a faith on South Indians in generally. So that has been proved. So the trust and faith and hard work has rewarded me a very good, one side is a salary, other side I learned the knowledge. That's knowledge of the hardware networking that in 1.5 time. Even I don't know whether I would have worked for 5 years in the other places, whether I would have got that kind of exposure is a big question mark. So from there, after 1.5 years, as everyone I was also trying to move out from the company, looking for some other bigger company, bigger salary and all that. I was trying to move to south. Basically, there was a company even called Microland that time. They were also doing good, and that time it was a networking and hardware. I appeared for an interview. I was always hesitating. I'll tell you, one side it is not matter of money and knowledge. The other side, what I got it, that is not comparable. So after 1.5 years, they got a confidence. They trusted me. They gave me any sort of work, even collecting a payment in midnights. You'll collect cash payments. They said, okay, you go to your room and come back. I don't mind, because usually whatever the cash we collected, we are supposed to hand it over in the office by evening. We should not go back to our residential place, because we are all outsiders. If somebody just vanishes, they cannot trace it. But I got into confidence of that MD saying that, okay, you go to your home and come back tomorrow morning, I don't have a problem. So that's a kind of confidence and trustworthiness I developed. So exactly after say 1.5 years, I was in the bank. It is in the Connaught Place. I was in usually the bank time is 5:40, 5:30. 5:30 everybody will leave. I am supposed to leave by 5:45. Luckily, my in charge, there was a person called, his name is also Iyer. He is from Kumbakonam. I was reporting to him. He was a Dutch Bank employee and looking head of the IT division. I was reporting to him. In the end of December 16th evening, I can remember well, on a Thursday, 1993, there was a call transferred from the reception to the IT department. And Mr. Iyer was talking. I was just, some 15 feet away from his table. I could hear. He was attending the call. He said, oh, it is not me. It is for the Pillai. And he transferred the call. Then I just took the call. It was about just 5 minutes before I leave that office. Before 5 minutes, they got me. And I was told my father is seriously ill. He was admitted in a hospital at Trivandrum. And I don't know what to do. He said, my cousin was talking. What do you expect me to do? He said, you come back immediately. That's the one word I could hear. Immediately you have to come back. And on 16th, like every bachelor, I am left with zero. I'm in minus, because the general condition is 1st of every month we get the salary. Within 7th we settle all dues, and 15th we will back to zero, and 16th onwards we started borrowing the money. We started borrow, and then again we go back to the cycle. That's how it is, the bachelor life, typical bachelor life. So I don't know what to do on that evening. I just came back to office. It was around 8 o'clock. It was, as I told you, it is a remote place called Noida Industrial Area. My boss was just sitting doing his work. I just went to him and said, sir, my father is seriously sick. I just got a phone call. So the one word he asked me, okay, what do you want to do? I want to go back. You want to go by train or you want to go by air? That's the next question. I said, I feel like the situation is like I have to go back. I have to fly back. He said, okay, just wait for some time. Let me complete my task. So I was just nervous. Meanwhile, I said, I'll go back to the room and pick up my luggages. I just went to my room. I had my roommates and I told I'm going back. My father is sick. So I just came back to my office. Then he picked me from the office at around 10:30. He just knocked some of his relatives' door and he just took some cash. That, of course, at night 8 o'clock, who will carry a huge cash? He bought some 10,000 rupees and took me to the airport, bought a ticket. He said, I am not getting a direct ticket to Trivandrum. You go to Mumbai You can get a ticket for a next flight to Trivandrum. If there is a problem, he gave me some 3-4 landline numbers. You knock these people. I've already informed them. You will be calling. And in case of any trouble, you call these people. They'll help you to get the ticket. But of course, I didn't have a problem. I just that's the first my experience of air travel. I came back to Mumbai. From there morning, I took a flight and I reached Trivandrum about say 7:30, 7:45, 8 o'clock. Then I just went to meet my father at around say morning 10:30. I didn't, because I was that day, we can only make trunk calls and STD calls to talk to our parents. That happens once in a month. I have, due to my budget restriction. Otherwise, we write letters, inland letters and postcards. That is how the communication used to be. And I think he was sick for the last 15, 16 days. He became very serious and his kidneys have failed. And nobody had informed me. My father didn't want me to inform because I'm away in such a long distance. I will get disturbed. But the day when I just went and saw him at 10 o'clock, they took him for the last round of dialysis. That day evening, he died at 5:30. That is on 17 December, Friday, 5:30. Why I'm saying this? It is not, I'm not trying to narrate the incident of my demise of my father or something. In case if I would have not gained the trustworthiness of my boss, who will give you, or at that time, give an air ticket and make you to go back to your place? How many people will do that? So only that, as I told you, the hard work and trustworthiness, the reward is this, not anything else. Because of that, because my boss had a confidence on me, I was able to come back and see my father. I mean, that nobody can explain. Okay. And because it is not only for me seeing my father, after seeing me, gained the confidence. Oh, he has come. My elder son has arrived. He can take care of the family. My mother even never goes out of our home. My sister was studying and brother was studying. So that only because of the trustworthiness and hard work and the loyalty which paid you back. Then after 3 months, I went back to Delhi and he was just looking at me. Hey, because he was trying to contact me regularly. You said, you come back. If your father is sick, you take him to Delhi. I will take care of his medical conditions. You bring your family, I will support you, and all that kind of thing. He was regularly talking to me. I said, I have decided to stay back. I want to quit. And he agreed that I quit the job and I want to take care of my family. That is a decision I made it. When all my friends were trying to do a IBM mainframe course, they were trying to do a Y2K platform trainings and trying to slowly leaving to US. Today, out of my 58 batchmates, around 48 people are in abroad, and most of them in US. And I have decided to come back to Tirunelveli to take care of the family. Then after 3 months, I went back and said, I just come here. Hey, why did you come all the way to Delhi? No, I want to just say thank you. That's all. For that one word, I went to Delhi, met him, and I said, whatever the money you gave me, I'm bound to settle it back. I will earn and give you back. Just to say these words, I went to Delhi and came back and again started my, December 17th, he died, and January 1st, I took my next job. People were saying, you should not go out for next 16 days, blah, blah. I said, bullshit. Who will feed my family? I attended an interview. I joined in a company called Zenith Computers Limited, who are based at Mumbai. And there was a vacancy in Tirunelveli. So the 1st of January, I joined my customer support engineer. That was a job I took in 94, January 1st. From there, my journey started in Tirunelveli. And that is a job, because of the exposure I got, I was able to perform. That because of the exposure, I got this job. Because of that job, I was able to get an opportunity to serve the industry at that time in Tirunelveli where nobody else could support. Then slowly I started getting customers and their confidence. One such customer I always remember till date, a mentor. I used to call them in any part of my life. Of course, he is no more today. He is a chairman, MD of RMKV and Silks. Probably people would have known who are from South, or even today they have it in T Nagar and all that. So His name is Vishwanathan. I just went and extended my service support. I was a service engineer. I go with the suitcase. That time we had a huge respect. If a computer engineer is coming, means people used to look at there's a respect. So I was slowly gaining confidence of customers day by day. And this person, who was again a very big visionary, who established his today they are about almost 90 years old organization. He was a third generation. So today, so he was slowly trying to, I got attracted towards him, and I was taking his directions, and he was really a indirect mentoring. Then there was a time I decided, one point of time I was thinking, why not we start a business? Because I was having a lot of confidence on the technical side. I was a pure service engineer, but I didn't know anything about business. Then when I told my family, everybody is against, because my whole family was government employees, or they always work for a company, because starting a business is not in the history of my family, the entire family. And I was the first engineer from my family those days, and the whole family was against, because I can get a job of my compassionate ground. My father was working in Government College of Engineering, Tirunelveli. So they said, you can get a job, why you want to lose a government job? Then I took an advice of this, my mentor, Mr. Vishwanathan. Sir, I am thinking in these lines. I am planning to start a business in this computer hardware. Is it viable? Is it advisable at that stage? I was the age of 24. The one word he said, it is going to be the future. You take it up. Don't bother. Don't worry about anything. That's going to be the future. I'm talking in 94. Computer hardware means a computer will cost you about 1.75 lakhs for a configuration of 286. Even we started from PC, PCXT, 286, 386, 486. That time it was 386, scenario. So he said, that's going to be the future. You go ahead and take it. Then I just came to my family and said, sorry, I'm going to venture into it. There were two challenges. One is my career. Another was my marriage. Even through all these tough times, I was in love with a girl who was again an engineer, and today she is a PhD in electrical. She was an ex-principal in an engineering college here. So these were the two challenges. But she was a Christian, and she was from another community. Okay, so the challenge is my family is against for all. You don't start a business, get into a government job, and marry a girl of our community from Nagarkovil, where you'll get a very good dowry. Those days, I mean, imagine today, that is different. That's how I said, I differ in these two conditions. I'm going to go against. I went and asked my mom and said, Mom, give me 1 lakh rupees as a loan. Because my determination is I don't want to take money from my family after I completed my education. Today, I'm planning to start a business. Give me this 1 lakh rupees. Either I will establish my business, or if at all, if I lose, I have the confidence and courage of earning this back and giving back to me. She said, 100% I have. That is my father's benefit, the death benefit. From there, I took a loan of 1 lakh rupee. And of course, I had, other two partners that time. There was other two people who were already into business. They were looking for establishing a dealership of the same brand, like the Zenith Computers, as I told you. From that, they wanted one more person to join. As a technical man, I said, I will join. I'll also invest. So I invested with 1 lakh rupees. Likewise, the others with the 3 lakhs of capital and a 6 lakhs of loan, around 9 lakhs of total initial investment. We started a small business in the year of 95, January 7th. I started this company called BITS Computer System. Of course, I know even after the company, my other two partners used to look after the sales and marketing. My job is only to take care of the service. So I handle the service division. My job is again with a suitcase. I run around and look after my customers' satisfaction. The other people they actually take care of my sales and marketing operations and finance and all that, accounts, where I had only zero knowledge about all that. I don't know anything about accounts. I don't know anything about your marketing. Nothing. If you ask me, I will talk about technical aspect. That was my stage in the year of 95. Down the line, 1 year, I decided to get married. I married the same girl with again all kind of opposition. I went to Tiruchendur temple and got married, so nobody else could resist that. That is how my life started. Of course, that time it was looking good. It's all fine. Slowly, business was trying to, we were trying to develop, and because of my existing 1 year confidence on the Tirunelveli market, what I established through my technical support, existing customers all started giving my business. So I went back to the company and said, the same product I'm going to promote. I have worked for your company, I'm going to promote. Even the MD was advising, think twice before getting into this business. When you say an entrepreneur, it is not easy. I said, I am ready to venture with all the risk, only on the confidence, even if I lose, I can go back and earn. That was the one confidence I had. So with that condition, we started and slowly establishing. And next 1 year, I got married. After marriage, the commitments and all that starts. What happens when the business is slowly growing, we are expanding. The other two partners were actually, they were brothers, blood brothers. They had some misunderstanding. And they wanted to diversify and they wanted to start separate business of their own. Within the 2 years of span, one fine morning, they said, we want to go out of the company. I said, I don't know what to do. I've been a service engineer. Till date, I'm only a service engineer. If you ask me, what do you expect me to do? No, you have to settle back all the investment and with the returns. So as I told you, 3 lakhs of investment with 6 lakhs of loan, we started. After 2 years, both of them have taken their major shares. In the sense, the investment with the interest and the profit, whatever they earned. I didn't know anything. They said, this is the amount which comes to, we want to take this money and we want to go out. And I don't know what to say. I accepted it and the entire capital was drained. I was back to square one. From the day when I started with my suitcase, I was back to square one. I started again going and meeting all my customers saying that, sir, now I am alone in this company, but I don't know anything about marketing or sales or finance or accounts. I am a good service engineer. Trust me, for any of your requirements, please do call me and support. With that request, I went back to all my customers and started slowly learning things. What exactly is sales? And for a technical person, frankly speaking, in my experience, it is easy to become a salesman. So slowly I started entering into the sales, marketing. And again, I was thinking like, oh, we are slowly settling down and sitting back. And one day, we usually start from 9 o'clock and we close by 9 o'clock, 12 hours of work. At about 8:45, some officer just came into my office and asked, hi, how are you and where is your, I used to have a lot of notebooks. I used to write everything that time. Whatever from the morning, what all the calls I made, what all the customers I spoke, and what is the commitment on delivery, what is the commitment on payments, everything will be in the notebooks. Casually, an officer came into my office and collected all the notebooks and said, you meet me tomorrow in my office. Then only I came to know his name. He is a commercial tax officer. That time it was CTO. Next day when I went, he said, your books of account and your returns you have filed last year is totally different. It is not, matching. There is a huge gap. Then I was trying to explain, sir, I am new to this. I only took charge some 3 months before and all that. I said, whatever it is, ignorance cannot be accepted. So rule is rule. Slowly, then he started explaining. I think there was some lot of mistakes from our side. People didn't file the sales tax returns properly. In fact, they didn't collect the proper sales tax. There was some evasion of sales tax and all that. I didn't know how to maintain book of accounts. That was a problem. That was a problem for a technical person. Then I said, okay, your amount, the penalty, your tax amount amounts to 1 crore of rupees. It was going on for more than 15-20 days. Every day I had to go and appear before him and he summoned that, he gives the details, I give him a reply. Because That nothing was confidential. Everything is in black and white in the notebooks. He said the tax and penalty alone comes about crore of rupees. I said, sir, I have to wind up. I have to go back. So I will start working. My wife was also professor. I mean, she was a lecturer at that time. There was a nightmare. That was a nightmare I had. I couldn't even sleep in the nights. Midnight, if I wake up, head will be like boiling. My wife said one fine day, okay, let's leave this. Nothing wrong. You tried almost 3-4 years. You tried. You also got experience. Today you are in trouble. You said you can't handle it. Let's go back. We both will work and we will still settle. Nothing wrong. I was into that decision. That's a time. Then I just literally surrendered to the officer. Officer, this is a problem. Knowingly or unknowingly. All of a sudden, there were some changes. A new officer came into the place and he accepted it. He accepted it. I said, from this day onward, I will make sure I will maintain a proper book of accounts. I will learn things. I will follow. That's a commitment. You won't believe. With the flat penalty of 5,000 rupees, I came out of the case. And only condition, next 12 months, every month we have to file it and I have to appear in person and give him the papers. That was a big challenge and the trouble. And I mean, commercial, because I mean, from where you will pay this? We don't have surplus. So what I am trying to tell in all these stories, after that, then I started learning the accounting system, how a purchase, sales, income, expenditures, vouchers, receipts has to be accounted for. Then today, if you take, there are 17 mandated departments. Every company is supposed to report back. We have to file returns. Like for employee, EPF, VSI, from there, sales tax, income tax, central taxes. Likewise, then I started learning everything. Then I gained confidence. There was an income tax rate, there was a sales tax rate, but after that I gained confidence. I was able to handle. We call it as one side as a rate, otherwise they call it as a survey. So when the people came for a survey, I was able to address and give them papers confidently, saying that this is my papers. I'm open for a discussion. I'm ready to debate. So that's a kind of learning process I just came across. See, today, of course, when I started my first job in Tirunelveli, came back, my only asset was my father's TVS 50 with the registration number of T80-841. Okay, that was his last asset given to me. And with the borrow of his death benefits, I started his business. Today, to be frank, whatever I am today, I have my own house. I have the luxury cars. What I have, my dream car was BMW, and my son is working in Zogo. He has finished his BE Computer Science PSG. The second son is in Canada doing his UG, and 2010 I started a polytechnic college. All this, what I am saying is the money which I earn from this business. My parents sold the entire properties and gave us an education. From there, I started learning, I should say. And today where I am is because of whatever I earned. I'm proudly and happily saying is out of this business only. So if you look back, this is possible because of what? Your attitudes. Please understand. You will have a lot of people who are giving lecture in, I think I have 10-15 minutes. Okay. So you have today, if you want to go and attend a seminar in entrepreneurship, there are people who can give you a definition of entrepreneurship. And today there are a lot of support system and technology in hand. Support system in the sense for the capital money. I borrowed 1 lakh that time. Today there are government schemes, departments, banks are ready to finance any startup. They are ready to support you. So a lot of support system is there. A lot of technologies available. From the fingertips, you can get any data. Likewise, the opportunities are more. But what makes an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur in the sense, it is a first generation businessman. Please understand, if you start a business of Your family business still is nothing wrong. You start in a new line of business. Your family may be bigger, and your family may be running a business already. Nothing wrong. Your father or your grandfather. But when you try to be an entrepreneur, try to prove yourself in a different line of business. If you are following and maintaining the same business, it's okay. But entrepreneur is somebody different who takes a calculative risk. Okay, the risk taking is there, but you have to be a calculative risk. So that what makes entrepreneur to be successful is attitude. I am trying to tell, not all this uh, fun fairs or something like that. Your individual attitude, that day's determination of mine at that age of 21, not to take a pie from my parents, made me to go and venture to the industry. And once I get an opportunity, I didn't demand anything. Please understand. When he asked me what is the salary you want, I said, I don't know. You decide. So when you get an opportunity, prove yourself and try to learn out of it. Only this learning has helped me to establish my business, my technical strength, technical skill set. As I will tell you, technical skill, that time you are talking about Windows Server, Linux, blah blah, Android and iOS. That time it was called Novel Netware. It was called Banyan Netware. And installing Novel Netware server, there are only 3-4 people in the whole of Tamil Nadu that time. And because I worked in Delhi, my entire data center, that server room, was running on Novel Netware. I had hands-on experience. So that opportunity, I made use of it. I didn't just simply sit and spend my time, take my salary and go back. Today, many of us are doing it. Like, you get into the job, get into a routine job. Morning, you go and do the same again and again, same task, come back in the evening. And day one, you get your salary and get satisfied, look for appraisal, do all that. So try to learn out of your profession, and with that skills, plan a risk, calculative risk. So I am very particular, again and again, insisting upon only your individual attitude of determination. Of course, people say hard work, your loyalty, and your skill sets and the risk-taking caliber only make you a successful entrepreneur. Okay, but today the scenario is different. The same yardstick is not applicable today, because I followed this. People cannot simply copy this and another entrepreneur cannot come up in his life. This is my real story. Okay, but today I would like to quote another person's story where you can learn. If you want to really be a successful entrepreneur, I wanted to quote this Ritesh Agarwal. You just go back to his history of Ritesh Agarwal. He is a billionaire today at the age of 24. Oyo Rooms. He started his career in the business in the age of 19. And you try to, I don't want to detail that. One small line I wanted to quote is, before he starts his business, he went and stayed at least in 100 hotels, in 100 places, 100 rooms, and studied that. What is currently available? What is required? What is that he is trying to provide? So he studied that, and that is what, if you go through his history, his story, you will also learn a lot of things. So from this, my suggestions, it's not advice. I don't want to advise people. There are a couple of things you can. One is you sharpen your attitude. If you are in the right direction with a good attitude, you will be successful in life. I don't, of course, say that only entrepreneur is successful, but they are always not only successful, they are happy. Making money is one part, but giving an employment to a set of people will make you extremely happy. And over a period, so I started this BITS computer for my, yearning. But over a period in the year of 2010, when I started the Polytechnic, it is for my rural upliftment. I started in a place around 45 kilometers interior from the city. People were literally yelling at me. Hard-earned money you are investing on a dump yard. That is a one remark I got it. But there also I proved the institution has trained rural students, people who cannot talk. In the Polytechnic, the first 1 month, there is a rule applicable for every staff member, is they should not teach 2 subjects. One is English, another is mathematics. If you teach these two subjects, people will run away, jump out of the compound, and they will vanish. So you have to slowly adopt them to this two important subjects. That is the student I got. It is no fun in starting a college in, okay, I can do that. But here, my vision is something different. I trained that kind of students who doesn't know anything about English. Today, there are at present, there are about 31 students who are in Japan who can fluently talk Japanese language. It was under Skill India program, and then Minister of NSDC, Dharmendra Pradhan, issued the offer letters. People have traveled to Delhi. That's the first time they are going out of Tirunelveli. Please understand, the village and hamlets, rural students. So that's what I'm saying. See, the satisfaction I was trying to tell. It's not the achievements I'm trying to tell. The satisfaction compared to an employment and entrepreneur is totally different. That you cannot buy it. Of course, today there are Indians and Tamilians who are in the top position. The recent appointment you should have heard, the Zoom president for engineering department is this Velchami Shankarlingam. He is from a place called Virudhunagar. He recently joined in June 12th. They are also successful, I don't deny. So the difference between an employee, and the entrepreneur, there are little difference. The entrepreneur always, the happiness, satisfaction is you are providing a platform, you are providing the self-satisfaction. Over a period of time, you can work for your passion. People will say, okay, you have a passion, you get into business, work towards the passion. Friends, not as easy. You have dreams and all yes, we should have dreams, no doubt. But only your attitude will bring you. And another one small suggestion is try to start as early as possible. And definitely saying, I don't advise you finish your degree, you get money from your parents or somebody, start a business. I don't recommend. Please get employed somewhere, at least for 1 or 2 years. Try to understand the ground reality in a working environment. Try to learn. Learning is a basic. With a very good of your attitude, then you start working on that, but not beyond 30. I don't advise. Because today, if you ask me, are you ready to, today we are in the age of now, we have a project in 2020 in pipeline. We are thinking twice. We are doing financial analysis. We are doing a balance sheet. We are doing a projection, trial balance, blah, blah. We are talking to auditors. We are talking to legal advisor. That day, I didn't talk to anyone. I jumped into it. That courage and that confidence you will not get at the age of 45 or 50. That's a maturity. That maturity not only give you confidence, but also give you the other factors like fear, blah, blah, blah. So if you want to become an entrepreneur, try to start early as possible and venture into your attitude, good attitude, and sharpen it, and never forget your path which you have traveled. That today, wherever I go and share happily all this, my history, I never hesitate. I came from a very small family, but today I have proved myself because this attitude only has made me very successful. And remaining all, the successful is entrepreneur business is called startup. Today, anything and everything is available in the internet. You have got friends I sincerely recommend. But from 90s to till date, the percentage of people venturing into entrepreneurship have not improved at all. The same 5-10% of your people, you just look back among your friends over a period of time, you will have only the same percentage. Only 5 to 10% of people would have ventured into this entrepreneurship area. But my sincere suggestion is try to maximize more people. What you need and only an ID. You don't have to invent the wheel again. What you need, what is WhatsApp? Is nothing new. What is Ola today? This is nothing new. It's a call taxi business. What is WhatsApp? We had an MMS, we had an SMS and all that. They bundled and give it in one single pack. That's it. And they claim it is a free. We believe that. So what you need is only a small spark, an idea. And your attitude, I'll tell you again, that only will make you very successful. I think, hope I am almost have covered 55 minutes of my time. And friends, I don't know how far I am useful. I was useful. It is only my path which I traveled. I thought this lesson you will not get it in anywhere, in none of your books or syllabus, in any of the management. This is very hard, and till date I am proud and happy. I am trying to learn. My biggest strength, I can call it, I can judge people. The moment I speak to people, the moment I meet people, within 5-10 minutes I can understand their, I can decide upon them whether he will fit in or not. That's the strength I have gained. Another important aspect I'm trying to tell you, never ever lose your friends. Friends are for the lifetime, especially in your college. Of course, we have friends all along, family friends, school friends, and college friends will stay for a very long time. The final point I'll just touch upon, I'll just say goodbye. When I started this polytechnic, the year of 2010, I was looking for some person to support me financially because I cannot take the load alone. So as usual, my family background, nobody was there, and I didn't want to go with the family members. So that time, 2 years back, around 2007-8, I was traveling back to Singapore for my equipment purchase, IT equipments purchase. So I was looking with my friend circle who is there in Singapore to support me, because I'm going to stay only one day in Singapore. I will go procure things and come back. Then somehow I came to know one of my college roommate who stayed with me for last 4 years, during that 4 years, and who was there in Delhi also for some time. Then due to some reasons, what happens immediately after college, people get disconnected in the process of settling down in life, family, blah blah, everything. Usually we get disconnected. Likewise, we were completely disconnected. But the moment I got his contact in Singapore, I called. The very next second he said, okay, I will receive you in the airport. That's the answer. You will get it from a friend, not anybody else. So I went to Singapore for one day. He made all this purchase for me. Already I made arrangements. So I just went and picked up the material, stayed with him for one day. During that, we had some 2-3 hours of conversation. I was telling them, this is how my life all along, we were trying to exchange. I said, I am planning to start an polytechnic college because my wife was that time was a professor, and I am a computer supplier. Most of my contacts were to the engineering colleges and polytechnics in and around. So my vision is to give one such good infrastructure to the rural students where we can give a platform, so train them up and uplift their families. When I finished my talk, he said, okay, I will join with you. This is one line of reply, I'll tell you. This, nowhere else, you will get it, friends. Beyond, the friendship is one thing I respect. And today, this, apart from this materialistic assets, the biggest asset I believe is my friends, what I have earned. That's the biggest asset I feel is in my lifetime. In the age of almost, I'm reaching 50 now. This is my biggest asset. I have earned today worldwide. I have friends. 2 years back, my son decided to do a UG in Canada. So after the age of 17th, I want to send him to Canada. I didn't go there. I found one of my batchmate, not even a classmate. I called him, said, my son is coming. Don't worry, I will receive him. The university is in Waterloo, it's about 3 hours away. So let him stay for 1 or 2 days. I will drop him at the time of opening. So this asset is the biggest asset in your life. Keep your friends always with you. That will help you in your lifetime. And try to become an entrepreneur in your career. I'm sure, apart from money, you will have the biggest satisfaction that anybody else can give you. Thank you, one and all. Thanks for this wonderful opportunity. Thanks for everybody. Thank you for the management of this institution who had probably confidence on me and give me this 1 hour time slot. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your experience. It is a wonderful journey, sir. The session showcased the different dimension of entrepreneurship, which would definitely help all the participants to get proper insight about it. We strongly believe that through this webinar, many participants would be inspired to become successful entrepreneur in the future. So the next session is question answer, sir. We received many questions from our participants. So question number 1, to start a business, what are the other things we have to look out in order to not to struck in any kind of crisis, even though we have stable finance and management?
Okay, stable finance and management. Okay, see, the crisis is one thing which comes always unexpectedly. Okay, we cannot anticipate a crisis. That is one thing. Only thing, any sort of crisis, that's what I explained to you. I have also faced a lot of challenges. If you have a courage and a good attitude, and with your skill set, I'm sure you can face any kind of challenge, any kind of, you can come out of any kind of crisis. Yes, of course, you will. There will be ups and downs. You don't expect a smooth sailing, smooth takeoff. It's not going to be possible. Anticipate, aim for the, I mean, plan for the best, ready for the worst. That's my advice. Always plan for the best, but be ready at any given point of time. That's what we say, calculative risk. So when you say you have a good finance, when you have a management, I've seen many people having these two also have failed in business. It's because it depends on business to business. It will vary. For example, kind of institution, it is different. For my trading, it is different. Institution basically relies upon two things. One is infrastructure, another is the faculties. If you compromise here, you will lose. Whatever you are strong, whatever your management is good. Similar way in trading, your knowledge is power. You have to be competitive. Trading field is competitive business. Unless you are competitive, you will be killed in the competition. So every business demands certain skill set, and improve that skill sets and be confident. And the biggest point which I would like to reiterate is always believe in teamwork. Okay, and you are okay from the day one. You may be a one-man organization, maybe a one-man organization or a one-man show. Nothing wrong. Slowly start developing the next layer of team. Entry-level people, like a middle-level people, you can't do all the task every time. So your next up, for example, see in the growth of business, for example, a long tenure, you look at it. Initially, your technical strength. Okay, your technical strength will decide the success of your business, your attitude. Next thing is your team. Your set of team will decide the success of your company. The third stage, if you these two things are well settled, third thing is money management. That money management only will decide the success and expansion of your business. These are the three stages which I feel, and I feel it is going to be vital. Initially, your individual skill set. Second phase is going to be your manpower management. If you have a good team, okay, if you have a right team in place, you simply forget about this area. They will handle this. Once this right team is settled down, you have good people of your profit centers or something, then only you have to manage your money, your funds. You have to keep your finances very strong. Then automatically these things will fall in line.
Thank you, sir. Next question is partnership recommended for venture. What do you think, sir?
It depends, and it all depends on the understanding. Please, I mean, I recommend if you are friends. Otherwise, I don't. Forget about if you are a good financial background, you are relative. I don't recommend that. To good financially sound people, I don't recommend the partnership. To good very close relations, no, I don't recommend. If you two are a good friends, if you are able to understand, see. Today, my friend who is a trustee, he is working in Tokyo. Okay, I take care of the entire polytechnic operations. I am the chairman. I decide on day-to-day operations. It is basically successful for the past 10 years because so I have example for both. Initially, I have we were three partners. Now I have been solely managing my business. Polytechnic, I started with my friend, college mate. Today is successful. We are sailing very smooth. So it depends.
Nice answer, sir. Becoming entrepreneur immediately after the degree or after gaining the year of experience in a company, which is a better one, sir?
I told you at least you should have a minimum experience. Immediately after studies, again you are going to struggle and learn. If you have the courage, yes, of course, but it is better always to work in some company at least 1 or 2 years. It is always advisable.
Last question, sir. I want to make a startup. As I'm studying in engineering, I am much interested in e-waste. So can I develop this idea to become an entrepreneur, sir?
E-waste management is one of the potential area. Okay, let it be a solid waste or any, I mean, waste management in general itself. Okay, you are talking about e-waste. It's a general waste management. You won't understand the kind of potential behind it. Of course, e-waste management. See, every business, please understand, you are not going to be alone. There will be a hell lot of competition there. So if you want to be successful, it can be, even you can choose an existing business. That's what I'm saying. Your idea should be new. That's all. You can be successful. Even all the successful business is all existing business only. Nothing new. Only thing they have just implanted a new idea, so it has become very popular and they are successful. So EVS management is also a good potential area for the entrepreneurship.
We once again thank you, sir, for answering all the questions patiently and enlightening us towards the path of entrepreneurship. It's a great privilege to deliver the vote of thanks in this event. At the outset, I would like to thank our correspondent, Dr. K.S. Lakshmi ma'am, our secretary, Dr. K.S. Bhavi ma'am, our principal, Dr. T.K. Suresh sir, and our dean academic, Dr. K. Umarani ma'am, to motivate us and guide us in a successful manner. I would like to thank our speaker, Mr. Muthiah Pillai, CEO of its Computer System, RECT Polytechnic College Chairman, for sparing valuable time and sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our department head and my colleagues and the technical team of this event. Thank you, one and all. I would like to thank all the participants of this event. Thank you, participants. On the whole, I thank Almighty God to conduct this event in a successful manner. Thank you.